Today, we've got a truly special and heartfelt story to unpack. We're going to dive into a profound 30-year medical and humanitarian journey, one that bridges continents, transforms lives, and honors an absolutely extraordinary mentor. You know, it's pretty rare that we get to see the ripple effects of one person's teaching spanning decades and reaching all the way across the globe. But today, we're exploring exactly how that happens.
We're starting off with this powerful reflection right from Surgeon Bonalotha. He talks about plodding on irrespective of the weather or time of day with one's hand on the plow. It really captures that grueling yet kind of beautiful reality of a relentless 3-decade medical mission. This wasn't just a brief stint of charity, right? This was a lifelong commitment across the globe requiring just an immense amount of grit and heart.
Section 1. 30 Years of Missions. A lifetime dedicated to underprivileged regions.
The mission itself really takes off in September 1992. Just imagine being a fresh, young surgeon stepping out into underprivileged regions, literally kicking off a journey that's going to span nearly 3 decades. And then, notice that milestone right at the 10-year mark, a fascinating pivot and transition into aesthetic plastic surgery, broadening the whole scope of care and healing they could provide.
Now, a life spent in that kind of rigorous service creates a really profound paradox. As Bonalotha put it so perfectly, I'm older, but much younger now. Think about that for a second. Sure, your physical body ages after 30 years of global medical missions, but a lifetime of serving others, it completely revitalizes the spirit. And as we're going to see, this mindset of enduring youthfulness and passion was deeply influenced by a singular, legendary mentor. Which brings us to Section 2. Mentor Giovanni il Sospiroso. The profound guidance of Dr. John Mulliken. Giovanni il Sospiroso. This translates lovingly from mio soprannome, which means my nickname. This was the beloved moniker given to lifetime mentor Dr. John Mulliken of Children's MA. Even into his late 80s, Dr. Mulliken was described as being as young as ever. He wasn't just some textbook clinical instructor, he was a total force of nature who instilled that exact same youthful, relentless energy into his mentees.
What a pilgrimage and privilege learning under him. You know, the word choice there is so intentional. Learning under Dr. Mulliken wasn't just checking off boxes for routine medical training. No, it's described reverently as an absolute pilgrimage. It was a spiritual and professional journey, an incredible honor that literally shaped the core of the surgeons he taught.
Moving on to Section 3. Nagaland's Legacy of Smiles, passing the torch to a new generation.
So how did this legacy actually get built? Well, step by step. First, it started with Dr. Mulliken mentoring surgeons from overseas. Second, came the specific training of Bonalotha and his second mentee, Dr. Temsula Alinger. And by the way, they were notably Dr. Mulliken's last 2 overseas mentees from Nagaland. Third, that training blossomed right into the establishment of the Happy Smiles program. And finally, the fourth step was founding a dedicated legacy center. It's basically a perfect blueprint of how knowledge is passed down and multiplied.
Today, that very legacy is the John B. Mulliken Legacy Center for Cleft Lip and Palate, this amazing beacon of hope located at CIHSR, Nagaland. It's run by those exact same mentees, Bona and Temsula. Through the Happy Smiles program, they are entirely dedicated to underprivileged children who they affectionately call Smile Kids. And the coolest part, they don't do it in a vacuum. They partner globally with Smile Train NYC and India to provide this absolutely crucial ongoing care.
This right here is the ultimate passing of the torch. From the seed of Dr. John Mulliken's global mentorship and teaching emanating out of Massachusetts, we get the bloom. Bona and Temsula's localized, life-saving impact through the Legacy Center in Nagaland. It shows us exactly how a single mentor's teachings can cross oceans and translate directly into thousands of restored smiles in a specific local community.
And finally, Section 4. Traveling the Milky Way, a poetic farewell to a legend spanning from 1938 to 2026.
Dr. John Mulliken's life was an absolute masterclass in giving, but rather than some standard clinical obituary, we are left with a surprisingly beautiful image. Following his passing in 2026, Dr. Mulliken, who famously doted on his beloved pet dog Gurley, is wonderfully described as continuing his travels alongside her on the Milky Way. It's just such a touching, humanizing detail, right? It reminds us that behind every legendary medical figure is a real person with a huge heart, both for his patients and his faithful companions.
His mentees leave us with a simple yet incredibly profound farewell. God bless till we meet again.
This totally underscores a bond that transcends your typical professional relationship. This wasn't just a student saying goodbye to a teacher. It's rooted in deep personal love, absolute honor, and a profound respect for a man who changed the trajectory of their lives forever, and by extension, the lives of countless children in Nagaland.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to reflect on the journey we've explored today. From a young surgeon starting out in September 1992, to a mentor who stayed fiercely young at heart into his 80s, all the way to the countless Smile kids whose lives were forever changed at the what kind of legacy will your life's pilgrimage leave behind? Keep that question in mind as you go about your day. Thanks for joining me to explore this incredible journey.